Big
doubt.
was in his early 20s making these choices.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? We not gonna throw fuel on that fire.
Yeah.
And because in the future, whether or not he named his album Ready to Die, so clearly he understood mortality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Pac talked about death all the time, so clearly he understood mortality.
Yeah.
They knew they wasn't gonna be around forever. But Big, even with him understanding that I could die at any time, he saw that, you know what, Lil C's might link up with Young Noble and them later, and I need to create the space for that.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. And I think I truly think that's what happened. Because we outgrew them. You know, we outlived them, I mean. You know what I'm saying? We outlived Tupac and Big. And, you know, for us to, when we talked, it was like, yo, for all these years, I never met a Young Noble until, you know, till we started talking and communicating, but we ain't like each other. And
You
we
said
ain't
it was
know
aggressive, right?
Yeah, it was a phone call through somebody. Somebody I was talking to was around them, and they kept saying my name, and I guess Young Noble heard it, and he grabbed the phone from them, and was like, "Yo, what up?" And I was like, "What up?" He was like, "This is Young Noble, Outlaws," and I was like, "You know, calm." I'm like, "What up?" He was like, "It's Young Noble, Outlaws." I was like, "I heard you the first time." Like, what's up? And you know, God bless the dead Fatal from Outlaws. You know, we had an altercation. It was something light, no fists, no blown shit was throwing, just some yelling and some bullshit. He asked me about that, like, yo, so what's up with that situation with Fatal? And I explained to him what happened. Like, yo, listen, that was our first time seeing each other, and you know, we had some words. It wasn't nothing crazy, but that opened up the dialogue for me and him to actually talk. And before you know it, me and him wound up being on the phone for like 2 hours. So I went from being very aggressive. He was aggressive. I was just like, yo, listen, I'm not with all that. Okay, I heard you the first time. What's up? Are we going to talk or we not? You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to say some things to him because I knew how close he was to Pac. And I wanted to let him know some things that probably he didn't know about. Or some things that probably got read wrong or understood wrong. Yo, listen, bro, I just want to let you know this. That wasn't us. That wasn't us. And this is me telling you that. And he told me some things, and that's kind of like how we bonded from there. You know what I mean? Like, so before we did the K-Slay record, me and him was talking like 4 years ago before that. And he put
rest
me
in peace to K-Slay, too.
Yeah,
And
rest in peace
K-Slay's
to
a
K-Slay.
visionary for that record as well.
Hell
and for that video.
Yeah, and he didn't know. He was like, yo, would you do a record with the Outlaws? I was like, yeah, of course. I was like, I talk to Young Noble all the time. He was like, for real? I was like, yeah, I be talking, yeah. That's my brother.
man.
Like, yeah. He was like, oh shit, I didn't even know that. You know what?
Right.
I was like, well, at least you was on the, your mind was right. You was on the right, you was on the right track. You know what I mean? We was already talking about, you know, putting some work together, and we was like, if we're gonna do it for anybody, it's you. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind doing it with you. And that's how we made that happen. You know, EDI, you know, I spoke with all of them. We shot the video together. We met in the city together. You know, so all that shit was a little like, you know, just from the history, like, man,